Alrighty, how are we, guys? Obviously didn't stream last week, so we're back today. Easter Thursday clash between Brisbane and Collingwood. Big game. I've actually tipped Collingwood to win tonight. I think Brisbane are they need to lose at one point, and I think Collingwood could be the team to do it, but there was a late out. It was a tactical change. Mason Cox came into the team for Lockie Sullivan. Let's have a look at the subs quickly as well. So subs are Sam Marshall on debut for the Lions and Ed Allen for the Pies. So make sure to let us know in the chat, guys, who you think is going to win at the moment. A lot of people thinking Brisbane. Not a lot of people. What do we got? 7 votes. I think it's 5 and 2. It's not too bad. Hopefully KO decides to start fucking working properly, or else we're going to be in a bit of shit. Can't fucking see it properly. That's just KO for you, though. Alright, starting to fix it up now. I think it's okay. Alright. Interesting job. Who goes to Nick Daicos tonight? I don't think they'll really go to someone. I think Chris Fagan during the week did say that they will try some things. So, interested to see what that exactly means. So Collingwood won the toss, and they will be going to the left-hand side of your screen. Jamie Elliot, of course, game 200 tonight. Massive achievement for him. I actually saw this during the week. I didn't actually know this. He was actually on the Giants list, but was traded in their first trade period. So, interesting story. Jamie Elliot, of course. So players starting to move into their positions now. So interesting seeing Quaynor coming off the ground as well. He's just as a early substitute, I would guess, on the bench. Starting on the bench, Myercheck, Pendlebury starting on the bench as well. So both teams in hot form. Both teams have been undefeated in their last 4 games. Of course, Brisbane 5 and 0, Collingwood 4 and 1. So there we go. Thursday night footy, the traditional Easter Thursday clash. Collingwood up against Brisbane. A massive contest. 2 top teams, 2 top 4 teams. And here we go. Bounce down. First tap won by Cameron, who's been in insane form. Knocked it to Bailey. He spilled it out towards Still side bottom. Now Neil off to Zorko. High up and under ball towards half forward. Morris did want to bring it to ground, but there's Josh Daicos. Longish handball. Put more under all kinds of pressure. Just got rid of it. Chris with a smart little tap on it. Now side bottom on the outer wing. Has a lot of space to work into. Goes with a long 50-metre dart towards McStay. Couldn't take the mark. Tackled almost without it there. Now Daicos wrapped up by Andrews. And it'll be a ball up. So it looks like Josh Dunkley may be going to Daicos at stoppage. McInerney with the tap. Daicos couldn't get it out of there. McCluggage been in really good form so far this year. So it looks like Potentially Daicos going to Zorko at this stage, trying to make him accountable. So McInerney with the tap down. Long tried to pick it up, got it out in the end, only as far as Ashcroft. Handball over the top, missed his target. Daicos threaded a handball through somehow to Crisp, who picks it up eventually. Now sends it towards the forward 50 or 2-on-2. In front, McStay. Great grab from the former Lion and an opportunity to get the first one of the night. So really good work there from Collingwood just to cause the turnover, then find a free man in Crisp, send a dangerous ball inside the forward 50. McStay read it well. So he runs a little bit of an arc here, McStay. It's going to come back really nice. And Collingwood get the first goal of Thursday night. Got to start the timer. That would be good on me. Anyway, good goal there from Daniel McStay. Had a nice little drawback on that. He kicked it a little bit to the right and then just drew it back straight through the middle. So massive crowd at the Gabba as well. I think it was called a sellout early in the week, in fact. So great crowd there in Queensland. So we're back in the middle. Cameron. Free kick's going to go to the Pies. It is going to be going to Cameron. So they'll get the clearance here. Have the early ascendancy in the middle here, the Pies. So Maynard tells him to just go along with it. Send it high and hope for a flyer. Who's going to be there? Cox is there. Got hands to it. Couldn't bring it down. But a free kick's been called out. It's going to be going to Mason Cox. Looks like it was a hold of the arm. And a chance here for the Pies to get 2 quick goals. So Jackson Payne just wrapped around that arm and then grabbed the jumper as well. Usually grabbing the jumper is a real indicator there for the umpire to see and usually going to be called. So Mason Cox are late in tonight. Wasn't in the main 23 tonight, but just a late call up. They saw the matchup, saw that he was going to be a real influence on the game, and the kick on goal isn't the greatest. Out to the right. Once upon a time, he was one of the more accurate goal kickers in the AFL on set shots. That one a little bit wayward. So now Wilmot wants to go on the outer side here. Runs his full measure. Chips it in short to Archie on the lead. In fact, that's Rayner, who just cuts the kick back inside to Zorko. Almost 50 metres there. Not called by the umpire. Zorko just works it back here to Wilmot at half-back, outer side. So just going to have to go wide up. Wide ball. He got taken down pretty late there from Macquarie. Called play on. Up went Howe. Couldn't mark. Spills to Moore. Inside give. Cameron. Side bottom. Longish handball. Daicos. They're linking up nicely here. Collingwood. They get through the middle now to Josh Daicos. He'll thump a long ball towards the one-on-one. McStay. One. Couldn't grab it on the second attempt. Ainsworth locks him up. Good work there from Andrews. Cleared by Leicester. In the middle of the ground. Got a bit lucky there. Marked by McCluggage, and now the Lions want to go through the middle. Ashcroft, Rayner, back to McCluggage. Goes with a short little kick over the top. Had too much on it there for Cameron. Got a good tackle on the opposing Cameron. And now Daicos to Howe. A little bit of transition footy here from Collingwood. Over the top with the kick there from Hill. Finds Lipinski. How you doing, Travis or Mark? I always forget which one you are. How you doing, man? So Lipinski forward side of the wing here. Commentary side. He's going to run his full measure. Send a low ball inside the forward 50. Didn't have enough on it there for Cox. Neal gives off the handball. Ainsworth. Nice little kick. Hits up Hedwood. Massive second half from him last week. Dragged his team over the line against the Dogs at Norwood Oval. So short kick up the ground. Hits up Josh Dunkley. What a season he's having so far. 2-time premiership player. Up the wing towards Will Ashcroft. A little bit too wide. And Josh Daicos will get the free kick. So now Daicos runs Good 15 metres and sends it high. McInerney had a jumper held there. Wasn't seen by the umpire. Hipwood, long handball, good 20 metres. And McCluggage finds an acre of space to work into. Short little kick to Rayner, wasn't 15. Too good to break away though. Sends it long towards the one-on-one. Great work from Darcy Moore. Got there in time. 2 fists to it. Thumped it out of bounds. Not much Cameron could really do there. Charlie Cameron couldn't do much about that kick. It was too high, easy to spoil away. So from the ruck contest, Ashcroft wraps up Chris, spills now to Charlie Cameron, breaks past the tackler, not the second though, holding the footy. The Pies take the advantage. A real quick game of footy so far. Perryman about to get wrapped up, got the kick away just in time. Wideish kick, turned it over though. Wilmot went to play on, umpire calls him to go. He went to kick once, twice, maybe even 3 times. Works the handball back to Zorko, and they'll set it up once again. So Harris Andrews on the last line here for the Lions. Just on the outer side of the centre. So Andrews going to wind up. Long ball. Up goes Rayner! Couldn't take the mark. Free kick's been ripped out here. It's going to be going Brisbane's way. So Cam Rayner gets the free kick. He went for a big fly. But the umpire called the free kick anyway. A slight little tug of the jumper there from Josh Daicos. Like I said, that's a real indicator from the umpires what they're looking for to give away those sort of free kicks. And Cam Rayner, what a story he was last year. Massive final series from him. Number 1 draft pick. A lot of people forget about that. Such a great role player for Brisbane. Such a powerful figure at the club. For a 45-degree angle, it's drawing its way back, but not enough. So first score of the night there for Brisbane. So Maynard now in the back pocket. Goes up the wing. Good kick towards Hill. Answorth did want to spoil it. Bailey roved it well. McCluggage been good so far this year. Great looking ball. Hits up Archie in the pocket. Hugh McCluggage probably be ranking one of the top players in the Brownlow at the moment. He has been in brilliant form to start the season. So Cal Archie, speaking of great stories, he is one of them. He comes in, it's drawing its way back, and it's on that right side. So 2 behinds there for the Brisbane Lions to start proceedings tonight. So Howe works it short here to Perryman. So he just hooks it across this commentary side. Good kick in the end. Hits up Maynard. He wants to go with a long ball. This looks a little bit better than his last kick. Lipinski out the back takes the mark. Still 2 good kicks away from goal. So he works it back inboard. Finds Nick Daicos. Wanted to give the handball. Decided to go back to Lipinski, who kept on running. So he's about 80 out from their goal. He's got a lead up in the pocket here. That's where he goes. Myercheck up on the lead. Doesn't have a lot of options here. Mason Cox about to sit himself in the hole. And that's where Myercheck's directing. He's going to send it high. Who's going to fly for Collingwood? Cameron's there. Good mark from Andrews. Up in front. Dig well. And now they can go on the counter. I'm actually a Swans fan, Penrose. So they link up through handball. Over the top now, Ashcroft. Centre wing on the outer side to Neil. Just had to tread water momentarily. Bailey back to Levi Ashcroft. And they're just going to have to slide up here. The Brisbane Football Club just with Leicester at the moment. In short, that wasn't 15. Had to give off a quick handball. They're linking up nicely here, Brisbane. Neil over the top to Bailey. About to get shut down. Ducked their head a little. Umpire wasn't falling for it. In fact, the one off the ball did. In fact, that's Tunstall. First game of the year for him. Kick up down the wing was a nice looking ball. Hits up Neil. He just worked all day. Great workhorse. He's going to send it high once again. Top of the goal square here. Hipwood's there. Gets out the back. Numbers here with Collingwood. Darcy Cameron gives it off. Myercheck handballed. Eventually found the boundary line. And it'll be a throw in the right forward pocket here for Brisbane. So Myercheck working a long way up the ground. Last line of defence there. So it's been a little bit of an arm wrestle so far. Collingwood had a little bit of the early ascendancy, but other than that, it's been a pretty even contest. So now Crisp gives it back to Perryman, who will clear for the Pies. High up and under ball, 2-on-2. Lester was there, couldn't mark. Long tried to break away, just fumbled. Fletcher gives it off. Neal immediately wrapped up by Elliot. Ball spills now to Daicos. Handball long to no one in particular. Zorko sitting at the back of the pack. He'll send it low ball inside the forward 50. In front there is Darcy Cameron. In all Australian form so far this year. Cameron in short. Daicos just racking them up early. Couple of boos around the ground. Goes to his brother and Josh. And now Josh Daicos threads it through the middle. Nice looking kick. Hits up Pendlebury. Usually a good user. The kick in between a couple of players. Found DeGoey on the bounce. Had an option over the top. Didn't have enough power in the kick. Tunstall cut it off. Inside ball was nice. Zorko was racking them up early. He wants to go. Eventually got the ball away. Ashcroft. Handball finds Tunstall again, who's racking a few early touches here. Out wide to Neal. So right in front of the interchange gates here is Lockie Neal. Zorko calling to try and switch the play. Neal tries to do a little bit of a switch kick. Was nice though. Fletcher, the floater. Inside finds McInerney. Well, I don't know if that was what he wanted, but it works out in the end. So Collingwood make a mistake down one end. Brisbane ready to make them pay on the other. Great work there from McInerney. Been a pretty good goal-scoring ruckman in his day. Of course, the tragic story last year of him missing out on the grand final. But he was one of the biggest celebrators in the end. Such a clubman, Oscar McInerney. Would love to get back to that stage once again. He comes in now. Very high-looking kick. But it's straight through the middle. Brisbane get there first. So for a very quick up and down game of football, we've only seen 2 goals, one to either side. So back in the middle we go. Mason Cox in the ruck. Won it down to Nick Daicos. Handball. Pendlebury back to Daicos. Loves the link up. Just sprints away from McCluggage. Leaves him in his wake. Sends a high ball towards the 3-on-1 and McStay, and he's got it! Only the one required. McStay drags down a big mark. That was a wonderful mark there from McStay in good marking form. And Daicos, nice little burst of speed to break away there from McCluggage. An opportunity for Collingwood to get their second. So McStay comes in, nice looking kick, and Collingwood get the quick reply. So back in... Oh, no, that's a replay. Dumbass. But Nick Daicos started nicely. Along with his brother and Josh. I think both of them are the leading disposal getters for Collingwood. So back in the middle once again. Both the secondary ruckmen straight tap to Pendlebury. Gliding through the stoppage kick wasn't so great. So Wilmot takes the relieving mark. So the secondary ruckman at the moment looks like it's Logan Morris, I believe. In fact, no, it's Sam Day, sorry. Just being monstered at the moment by Mason Cox in the ruck. So speaking of, Day has the footy now. Goes up the wing. High ball, looking to the lead up of Morris. Couldn't take it. Berry. Just a little fumble there, and Crisp happy to tap it out of bounds. So 8 minutes still to go on this first term. Collingwood, 2 goals, 1-13. Brisbane, 1-2-8. So both three scoring shots on the board. Been a very up and down sort of game so far. Cox with the tap. Pendlebury tried to pick it up. Cox off the ground. Found McInerney. Handball. Tries to find Daicos. Good link-up play here to Crisp. Little handball forward here to Pendlebury. Steps back onto that left boot. He'll send a high one. Who's going to fly this time? McStay's been good in the air so far. Couldn't bring that one down. My check. Great little rove. Snapped on goal. Did it brilliantly. It's a great goal there from Brodie Myercheck. Roved it like his good little mate in Jamie Elliot. Would have liked that one. They just have a lot of trust in McStay to get his hands on it. If he's not going to mark it, he's going to bring it to ground. He's done that, 3 times already tonight. 2 good marks in that one. Had hands on it. Brought it down soft tap there for Myercheck. Just easy grab, snap, and goal. So back in the middle, Day got the tap. Straight to Pendlebury, though. Immediately wrapped up. Threw it out of there. Umpire put the whistle to the mouth, then decided to not pay it. Tunstall got a high one, not paid. Daicos gave one away as well. And eventually the umpire blows the whistle. Oh, he's given a free kick to Collingwood. So Daicos will get it. He runs an arc, sends it towards the forward 50 on the lead. Great work there from Berry to get back. But Brisbane under siege in the last few minutes. Just have to take a breath. So Berry sends it out wide. Good kick in the end to Dunkley. So Dunkley now. A low dart up the wing here. Day took the front spot. 1, 2, 3 from Cox and slapped it 20 metres forward. Wilmot did well. And now Bailey breaks away from a defender. Got the kick forward to Charlie Cameron in front. He'll want to wheel and go. Sees an option at the top of the goal square. The kick has to be good. And you know what? It was great. So Eric Hipwood, an opportunity here to get their second here for the Lions. That was a great kick from Cameron. It was centimetre perfect, if you don't mind. So Eric Hipwood had a blistering second half to get his team over the line last week. And today, he's on the board. So just looking at the early touches so far, Nick Daicos leads all comers with the 9 touches. Josh Daicos with the 8 for Brisbane. Lockie Neal with the 6-5 to Zane Zorko. So Brisbane need to clean it up in the middle at the moment. With a tap with McInerney. McCluggage wrapped up with an arm. And he's got rewarded here, Pendlebury. So Pendlebury gives off the handball to guess who? Nick Daicos. Nice little ball inside 50. Berry did well. Got back, got a little tap onto it. Mychek went for a duck, didn't get the free. And Fletcher, a little fumble, takes it out of bounds. So a little bit of push and shove here. Taris Andrews and Mychek. Both of them get up, just say they're sorry and everything's all good. So 5.5 minutes to go. So Zorko tried to take it away. Perryman gave it a little bit of a high fend off. Berry did well. And now free kick's been called. It is going to Berry. So Lockie Neal, I think got a hit to the nose. Just rubbing it there. Should be okay. So long kick here from Berry. Good mark there from Cameron. So Cameron, good kick up towards Lipinski. Just had too much on it. So just outside the Collingwood forward 50. Cameron and McInerney. McInerney with the tap straight to Neal. Handball turned it over. Pendlebury sends it long. Good mark there from Wilmot. It's been good so far. The kick up towards centre half back finds Levi Ashcroft. He wants to play on, just doesn't have an option. Just has to hold up. Goes to the wide kick. Hits up Tunstall. Been good so far, Tunstall. First game of the year for him. Was an inclusion this week. High ball towards half forward. 2-on-2. Well done there from Morris. He wants to go. Realises there's no one around him. Gives off the handball to Zorko, who sends a low dart towards the teeth of goal. Touched on the line by Cameron. So McInerney definitely got, looks like a role tonight to always try and get Cameron to chase him down into the forward 50. Almost took that one there as well. So Maynard, long ball on the outer wing, 2-on-2. Who's going to fly? Andrews couldn't take it on the second attempt. Tunstall picked it up. Kick up the ground, did nicely. Ashcroft, handball over the top to Morris. He'll want to go inside the forward 50, low ball, nice kick. So Kalachi takes the mark. He's already had a sider. Logan Morris working himself into this first term with a couple of nice acts. So Kalachi, 45-degree angle, 45 metres out. He's hooked it to the left and smashed it into the post. So a couple of missed opportunities here for Brisbane late in the first term. Howe goes straight up the middle. It's a dangerous kick. Just had enough on it. Quaynor tapped it out the back. Ainsworth overran it. Collingwood have numbers, but they just missed the footy. Ainsworth did well to recover. And now they've got numbers out the back here, Brisbane. Bailey stretches past Darcy Cameron. Has a few options inside the forward 50. Bailey towards the pocket. Too much on it. Hang on, free kick's been ripped out. It's going to be called for running too far, I believe. And now it's 50 metres. Brisbane not being seen in great light by the umpires so far. Well, that 50 is huge. So 50 to Josh Daicos. He'll kick from 50, and this is really going to hurt. So Josh Daicos kicks the goal. Piles on the pain to Brisbane. That's fucking bullshit to Zach Bailey. Why was that 50? Oh, player on the mark. Okay, sorry. I thought it was Zach Bailey gave away that 50. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. He did move on the mark. That one was called 50 as well, I think, who was on the mark on the Josh Daicos kick, but he kicked the goal, so they just paid play on. So we're back in the middle. Collingwood lead by 9 points. Cameron with the tap down, straight to Neil, on the up to McCluggage. Feigns the handball, gave it back, but Bobby Hill was right on the pressure. Long to Daicos in the team tonight. Had an option on the lateral side. Decided to kick it, try to go long. Got it kicked it into the man in front of him. Long did well to tap it onto McQuarrie. Daicos, handball over the top to Hill. Has a few metres of space. Eventually gives it off to Elliot. In game 200. Can't swing it home. You'd almost would have put that one in the books there for Jamie Elliott. Just couldn't bring it back. So now Fletcher. Long ball towards the interchange gates here. Frampton trying to get a fist onto it. Spills out of bounds. True centre wing out of side. 2 minutes left in this opening term. Tap down from McInerney. McCluggage back to Bailey. He'll send the ball towards half forward. Great looking ball for Day. Doesn't have a lot of options long. Just has to hold up a lot of numbers running inside that forward 50 now. So he goes to the wide ball on the leg. Great kick there to Hipwood. Great work there from Day. He could have blazed away, but just took his time and eventually found the right option. So Eric Hipwood just seems to have kept on going on from this second half last week. Already kicked the goal. This is going to be a very tough kick. A long kick from outside 50. Tough for a left footer. Eric Hipwood stares down his challenge, kicks it to the right-hand side and goes out on the full. So not the greatest kick. It's pretty hard to kick though, if I'm being honest. So Billy Frampton has the footy here in the back pocket. So he goes to the long ball here. Free kick's been called out. It's going to be going to Mason Cox. Gives off a handball to Maynard. Little ball underground there to side bottom. Fumbled. Just had to tap it onto space for Perryman. Wrapped up by Neil. Great looking tackle. Long. Got a high one. Play on, says the umpire. Side bottom. Long handball. Good tackle there from Charlie Cameron. Quaynor. They work it through here to Josh Daicos. High ball inside the forward 50. McSay's there. Oh, geez. Spoiled it. To the boundary line. Did it well. So 10 seconds left. Maybe a late snap-on goal here for Collingwood. Gonna have to have someone to get on the move. You're looking here, Bobby Hill, Jamie Elliott, Nick Daicos. Hell, even still, side bottom's pretty good at this situation. Cameron taps straight down to Dunkley. Clears it outside the danger zone. And good take there from Rayner. Should get us to quarter time. And Rayner wasn't too impressed by the contact there from Braden Maynard. So a little bit of push and shove. Rayner wasn't too impressed by it, but they're walking away now with smiles on their faces. But Collingwood lead at quarter time by 10 points. 26 to Collingwood to the 2-4-16 to Brisbane. So let's have a look at the statistics for the opening term. All right, so looking at the opening term, Nick Daicos leads all comers on the AFL fantasy front with 39. Not really too surprising there. Josh Daicos, 35. Darcy Cameron, 32. Eric Hipwood, 30 for Brisbane. Wilmot have liked his first quarter. He's on 29. Lockie Neal with the 28. What are the disposals looking at? Yeah, Daicos brothers both on top. Not really too surprising. Lockie Neal and Tunstall. I really like Tunstall's first quarter, actually. First game of the... I think it's pretty sure his first game of the year, isn't it? He got 125 in fantasy one year. Holy shit. Oh, that's his total points, isn't it? Yeah, I'm an idiot. Don't worry about me. I'm a fucking moron. Yes, he hasn't played a game this year. I was pretty sure. So players just still in their thing, what do you call it? Your fucking quarter time huddles. Fucking idiot. So 10 points the margin at quarter time. Kind of feels like Collingwood should be a little bit further in front, in my opinion. Brisbane, of course, have been very good finishers so far this year. And I think in the last 8 games, they've been behind at halftime. They've went on to win. So no deficit really worries them at the moment. But we'll have to see if that can continue tonight, if they are down at halftime. They're only down by 10 points at the moment, though. So second term is underway. McInerney with a tap, Pendlebury. Eventually got it off to Daicos, just sprints away. This will be his 12th touch already. Sent it inside the forward 50 on the lead is Elliot. What a kick there from Nick Daicos on the left boot, if you don't mind. And Jamie Elliott, well, for most of his career, he's been a dead eye. So Jamie Elliott from just outside 50, he winds up. He's hooked it across the face, and unfortunately another behind. He's kicked 2 behind so far, Jamie Elliott. Still hasn't been able to trouble the goal scorers. I asked a Lions fan of mine, why do you play with your food before you kill it? They've been doing it all year. Okay. Oh, you mean because oh, sorry, I know what you mean. Fuck, I'm an idiot. Sorry, I get what you mean about the halftime. Yeah, they play with their food and then they eat it. Yeah, sorry, that was a good one. That was a good one. I'll give you that. Lol cows, I'm just an idiot. Sorry. That was very good though. May even use that one. Hipwood went up, couldn't mark it. Rayner almost dragged it away from him. Spills out now, and Pies have the numbers. Long to Pendlebury, fumbled. Eventually got back onto it. Handball inside to Josh Daicos, who links up with Howe. A nice little dab kick, went about 15, just to Elliot. Gives off the handball to Long, who was brilliant last week. The kick wasn't so great. Tunstall under pressure here from Crisp. Crisp shows his experience. Long went in hard, so did Fletcher. Did well. Tunstall back to Dunkley under all sorts of pressure. Gives it to Payne. Payne, a little bit of delusions of grandeur if you don't mind. Got it off to Ashcroft. Back to Dunkley, who just has to kick it away. And they're going to get lucky here with a free kick up the field. McQuarrie just needed to hold up there. Gives away a free kick for a dumping tackle. And now Zorko looking for the inside kick. Look at the ball. It looks brilliantly. Looks brilliant. Finds Day. Outside ball to Ainsworth. Chance here for Brisbane to get one against the run of play. Goes towards the pocket. Great looking kick. Charlie Cameron takes the mark. Oh, Lolcows becomes a channel member. Cheers, man. Appreciate that. After not even understanding your joke, you feel sorry for me. No, I appreciate that, man. Hope you enjoy the perks. Got a lot of videos out right now as well for channel members if you want to watch them too. It's like 5 or 6. So Charlie Cameron around the body, usually bread and butter stuff, but he's hooked it too far. So both teams a little wayward on the goal kicking so far. So now Josh Daicos goes with a very wide ball towards Cameron. Did well there, Fletcher, just to get a fist onto it. And he's given away the free. I don't know about that. So Cameron will take it here, just at half back. Goes to a long kick. Andrews, 1-2, nearly on the third attempt. Couldn't take it down fully, though. Tunstall, eventually taken out of bounds. So Tunstall, one of the highest disposal getters for the Lions so far. He's got 8 at the moment. Can we stop? All right. The commentators are talking about words like aura and sigma. Don't use those words. You're 10 years, 20 years too old to use words like sigma. Fuck me. Anyway. Meanwhile, back at the football, Leicester takes the mark at halfback. This is on Fox Footy, and I do think they have the better broadcasting team, but fuck me. If you start using words like sigma and aura as 45 to 50-year-olds, you're fucking weird. So just on the forward side of the outer wing here, out of bounds for the Lions. Both teams unable to score a goal so far in the early parts of the second term. Tap down from Cameron. Daicos wrapped up well. Should be rewarded here, Tunstall. And he is. Great work. That was a brilliant tackle there from the young man. So Tunstall quickly plays on. Now he's the leading disposal getter on the ground here for Brisbane. Works the kick out wide to Dunkley. He sends a very high ball. Tells his mates to fly for it. One was Day. He couldn't take it down. Perryman had a time to get rid of it. Umpire says, give it to me. So about 35 out from Brisbane's goal. Straight in front. McInerney just takes it out of the ruck. Couldn't get the kick away in time. Lipinski in and under did it well. Daicos breaks away. I think it's the disposal 15. He's just racking them up. So Jack Crisp has it now at half back here for the Pies. Plays on. Low dart down the wing towards the 2-on-1. Brisbane have the numbers and they went out with pain. Oh, the kick backwards was dreadful. It was an absolute grubber. Zorko did well to recover for his side. Works the kick backwards. And now Leicester. Goes a little bit more central inside the centre square. Finds McCluggage. Finding it a little bit difficult to find the footy in the first term, Hugh McCluggage. Good kick in the end. Finds Lockie Neal, centre wing. So just going to take a slow approach here, Brisbane. Ainsworth. Low ball. It's up Bailey. So Brisbane don't really have a lead-up option here. A lot of players pointing for long, so that's where he's going to go. Sets it up. And one-on-one is Cam Rayner. He's just too strong. Nick Daicos couldn't do much about it. Cam Rayner, too much of a ball. Great work here from Zach Bailey. Just saw the mismatch. Last thing Nick Daicos wants to be doing is manning up in a one-on-one marking contest against Cam Rayner. So an opportunity to make them pay. Cam Rayner does. Brisbane first goal of the second term. Hey, you can't use that song. That's ours. Cam Rayner's using his goal song as Sweet Caroline. That's unfair. Against the Sydney Swans, he shouldn't be allowed to use that. That's unfair. And I say no. So back in the ruck we go. Cameron with the tap down. Long try to get rid of it. McCluggage wrapped up. Spills out to side bottom. Wrapped up by Neal. Somehow got it out of their side bottom and turned it straight over. Berry. Long handball. Bailey was smart. Gave it off to Ashcroft. Quickly on to Cameron. He'll send it inside the forward 50 towards the one-on-one. Couldn't take it in the air. The free kick's going to be called out though. Brisbane's way. Eric Hipwood looking dangerous. Feel like this is Groundhog Day. Lions finish them off in the after halftime. Well, you may be onto something. I mean, they're starting well in the second term. Definitely a free kick against Darcy Moore. Just hit Hipwood straight up the front. So Eric Hipwood already has kicked a goal today. A chance here for Brisbane to take the lead. Huge crowd at the Gabba tonight for the traditional Easter Thursday clash. Watching a real spectacle early. So Eric Hipwood, a chance here for his second goal. Tough angle. He's hooked it across the face and another behind. 3 goals, 6 from Brisbane so far. They've missed a couple out there. So Lipinski has it. Oh, he's got a lot of time here. Messed it up almost. It stays in bounds. from Lipinski kick, and Rayner thumps it out of bounds. So James Tunstall having a really good start. Did really well there with his defensive pressure on the mark. Tap down. No one in particular too, though, and it's going to be recalled. So 13 minutes still to go in this first half. Collingwood had the better ascendancy in the opening term, just couldn't put it much on the scoreboard, and Brisbane with the only goal of the second. Tap down from McInerney. Tapped away Long. Wrapped up Tunstall. McCluggage wrapped up by Long. Did well. Ball up. So now Neal takes it away from the clearance. High up and under ball. And Morris, 1, 2, 3. Just couldn't claim it on the fourth attempt. And now Daicos clearing ball. Almost turned it over. Did well there, Cameron, to bring it to ground. Running away is Bobby Hill. He'll take a bounce. He'll run away from a couple of defenders. He takes a second. He looks at his opponents and says, I've got you covered. The kick inside 50 wasn't the greatest. Couldn't take the mark there, Brisbane, though. Numbers here with Collingwood. Hoskin Elliot to Hill. Handballed it to DeGoey. He's under pressure. Got the hands free. To Long. About to go wrapped up. Shook the hips. Missed the kick away. And now Hill. Opportunity. Up. Touched on the line by Wilmot. Still in. Touch through. Brisbane. Great scrambling defense. So a bit of push and shove here from both sides. Jumper pulled. Bit of everything. Brisbane fans screaming. Oh, wait, what's happened? He's paid a free kick in the goal square to Collingwood for in the back. I'd have to see that again because that's fucking a huge call. And the chant of bullshit goes around the Gabba, which is good to see. I'd like to see that again, because that seems like a fuck... I don't think that was in the back. So it's a goal to Collingwood. I'd like to see it. They haven't really shown the replay just yet. I think they'll show it later, but that's a fucking... I don't like that sort of shit. Anyway. So back at the game, McCluggage running after it. Did well to keep it in front of him. Off the hairball to Dunkley. Now Ashcroft inside 50. Too much on it. Did well there, Bailey. Brett looks for a high one. And wasn't paid. Oh no, it was paid. And a little bit more push and shove around the ground. Lot of vigor in this one. Cam Rayner was not impressed. So Zach Bailey to get the quick reply. Try to silence the Collingwood supporters here tonight. It's left out to the right. Can't work its way back. Braden Maynard making sure he's heard. So still side bottom. Still 11 minutes to go in this second quarter. A huge amount of time. Long ball up the wing towards the one-on-one. McStay got the free kick, takes the advantage, gives it off to Daicos. Couple of options, goes for the long one. One-on-one out the back is Will Hoskin and Elliot. Hardly been sighted so far. An opportunity to get his first goal of the night. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22 23 24 25 26 27 28 29 30 31 32 33 34 35 36 37 38 39 40 41 42 43 44 45 46 47 48 49 50 51 52 53 54 55 56 57 58 59 60 61 62 63 64 65 66 67 68 69 70 71 72 73 74 75 76 77 78 79 80 81 82 83 84 85 86 87 88 89 90 91 92 93 94 95 96 97 98 99 100 101 102 103 104 105 106 107 108 109 110 111 112 113 114 115 116 117 118 119 120 121 122 123 124 125 126 127 128 129 130 131 132 133 134 135 136 137 138 139 140 141 142 143 144 145 146 147 148 149 150 151 152 153 154 155 156 157 158 159 160 161 162 So Oscar Elliot, a chance here to silence the Gabba crowd. He comes in, dead straight. Collingwood lead by 14. Well, no margin wearies the Brisbane Lions, but they would be a little bit concerned at the moment. It's a great kick from Daicos. Just inch perfect to Will Hoskin-Elliott. Didn't have to break stride. And Nick Daicos is becoming a bit of a problem. Maybe time to send someone like Jared Berry to him. Not as much as like a true tagger, but just someone who can negate him a little bit. Cox with the tap. Speak of Daicos. Got met hard by Rayner. Solid hit. Was all fair in play. Neil sends it forward on the bounce. Did well. Daicos straight up and playing. Did well. Handball forward. Did nicely. Hit his brother. He goes with a long kick up. Did nicely. Hits up Hoskin-Elliott, who immediately gives it off to Elliot. Handball away just in time. The hyphen Hoskin-Elliott gets it back. Almost turned it over here, Collingwood. Eventually they do. McCluggage off to Ashcroft. High up and under ball down the wing. Got up Hipwood. Couldn't take it. Great row from Levi. Gives off the handball. Morris gives it back. Wasn't the greatest give. Berry had to track it down. Did well in the end. Now McCluggage. Good kick up the ground. Hits up Levi Ashcroft. He's got his brother in Will about 30 metres in front of him. Decides to send it longer. Towards a leaper. Up went Hipwood. Good spoil to bring it to ground. Archie on the ground. Quick handball. Berry. Further back. Did it well. Levi Ashcroft again. Third touch in the chain. Sends it long. Day. That's a mark. Did it well. An opportunity for Brisbane to just get one back in reply. How you doing, Ollie? What are you up to tonight? Strong hands there from Sam Day. A chance here to get his first goal in Brisbane colours. It's been a long time coming. 35-degree angle, not much distance. He comes in. Great looking ball. And Brisbane get one back. Yeah, not doing too bad, man. How are you? So we're just over halfway through the second term. Collingwood have threatened to break away at times, but Brisbane just been able to peg it back. So 8.5 left. Tap down from Cameron. Ashcroft, great hands off to McCluggage. He's starting to work his way into the contest. The kick wasn't so good though. Turned it over to Maynard. Lateral ball to Frampton. Wasn't paid the 15. No one's hurt it around the ground. Hipwood now finally moves and Frampton breaks away from him. Long ball up the wing. 2-on-2. Great hands from Andrews. Been doing it his whole career, Harris Andrews. He's got Lockie Neal inside. Decides to go shorter than that to Levi Ashcroft. Got his nomination a couple of weeks ago in the Rising Star. So he sends it long. High up and under ball for Archie. Just couldn't hold the grab. So as they've gone all night, McInerney up against Cameron in the ruck. Tap down, McCluggage, great take. Got wrapped up momentarily. Neil, little broke of the ankles there of Daicos. Got the handball clear. Andrews, 20-metre handball in front of him. This could be called insufficient intent here. Umpire was a little bit too scared after a couple of mishaps in this opening half. So McInerney takes the front spot, went for the kick, got it smothered. Runs a good 30 metres forward though. Daicos, longish give to his brother in Nick. To side bottom, just linking up nicely here on the outer wing here, Collingwood. The inside ball wasn't the greatest. Fletcher went the body, couldn't take the footy. Ashcroft wrapped up, spills out to Crisp. Mychek fighting hard for it. Fighting in a phone booth at the moment. Bailey wrapped up by Daicos and Mychek, and umpire calls for it. So Cameron with the tap. Bailey couldn't take it cleanly. Neil did well. McCluggage dropped it. Umpire calls for play on. Now McCluggage just dragged it back in. He's going to be in trouble here. Umpire says it's fine. Tap down. Did well there, Daicos. That was almost a throw from Pendlebury. Got rid of it somehow. And now a high ball inside the forward 50. Players wrap up. Free kick's been ripped out. No, it's called out of bounds. So who's going to get on the move here for Collingwood here at the forward stoppage? Tap down. McQuarrie looks like the man. Couldn't break away. Berry, great tackle. Got rid of it. Not in time, though. Great work, Jared Berry. Does all the tough stuff for Brisbane. Gives off the handball to Ashcroft. Long ball up the wing. Got hands to it. Hipwood couldn't drag it down. Maynard played for the free. And he got it. So Maynard. Kick out wide. Finds side bottom. He'll send a high ball long. Maybe McStay as a flyer. Who's going to get there? It's McInerney. A little bit too easy there for McInerney there. It wasn't the greatest kick. Gives it now to Lester. Further back here to Andrews in the last line of defence as he's done his whole career. Short ball, Wilmot. He's got a short option here, but decides to go inboard. Wasn't 15, so he had to quickly give it off. It's going to call for a free kick, though. Up the ground, it's going to go to Sam Day. In the centre square, they just work it back momentarily. Ainsworth, short to Berry. I think this is about his fourth touch in this chain at the moment. Doesn't want to do much with it, though. Brisbane just a little bit hesitant to just bomb long at the moment. So Ainsworth has it. So just trying to get Collingwood's defence to move up a little so they can try and get something out the back. So the kick up the ground did nicely. Good mark in the end. That was Josh Dunkley. Very underrated marking target as a midfielder, Josh Dunkley. So Brisbane just can't work forward at the moment. They've had about 10 touches in a row, but have not been able to move forward. So Harris Andrews just says, let's just dump it long and hope. Hipwood did well to bring it to ground. Morris, quick little give inside, turned it over. Daicos dodges past the tackler in a second, takes a bounce. He'll want to get into this chain. He works it to McQuarrie, and now Long off to Pendlebury. Duck past the tackler, the kick inside was great. And now an opportunity here with Bo McQuarrie. He's probably too far out to score. So great work there from Nick Daicos to break away, break a line, and it just was the real catalyst into moving this ball forward. So Bo McQuarrie, a chance here for his first goal of the night. He runs a big arc. He hooks it towards goal. And back to that 14-point lead. "18 touches in this first half, Nick Daicos, and all of them have been quality. Definitely something that Chris Fagan's going to have to address at halftime. So back in the middle, Brisbane love to get one in reply, but they're not going to get away with it here. Umpire called play on. McCluggage looked to have dropped it, but umpire will call for it now. So 3.5 minutes left. Tap down from McInerney. Turned it straight back over, though. Daicos wants to go with a wide-looking ball. Side bottoms there. So is Oscar and Elliot. Did well to tap it away from them. McStay, 3 goals in the first half. Works it back to side bottom. Usually a good user inside the forward 50. Read it well from Dane Zorko. Zorko, the inside kick. Did nice. It's okay. And now they can work it up here, Brisbane. Through the middle of the ground they go. Berry, long ball. Out the back is Day. He did well. He wants to go. Cameron, he's got it wide. He decides to go longer than that towards the pocket for Rayner. Did well there, Howe. Calls a contest. Gets out of bounds. So a chance here for Brisbane to get one back. Cameron try to take it out of the ruck, left the ball behind. Great give there from Dunkley. Levi Ashcroft sends it high. Will it get all the way? Moore did well. Fists it through for a rush behind. So Jeremy Howe works it short. Finds Crisp. So you can't count out Brisbane at all at the moment. 13 points. Seems like nothing with their third quarters so far this year. Up the wing it goes. McInerney couldn't mark Payne. Tried to get rid of it. Wilmot did well. Clears it forward on the bounce. Did well. Tunstall. McCluggage got a kick away, but it wasn't the greatest. Now Crisp. Perryman. Tries to break away from his opponent. Tunstall put on the pressure. He got the kick away. And out on the fall. Great work from Tunstall. Has had a really good first half. So Jack Payne will take the kick here right in front of the Brisbane interchange gates. He has it. High ball towards 2-on-2. Morris tried to get hands to it. McCluggage to Ashcroft. Links up nicely. Tunstall. Didn't really look, just dumped it long. Who's going to fly? Cameron went up. Couldn't mark Day on the ground. Probably would have wanted it the other way. And he's holding the ball. So Quaynor just switches it here to Howe. Nick Daicos, I think he's got about 20 in this first half. Brisbane are going to have to put some effort into him in the second half here. So Daicos up the ground nicely to side bottom. Sends it long towards the one-on-one. Couldn't mark McStay. Just out of the grasp of Oscar and Elliot and the spills out. Just over a minute left in this first half. Collingwood led it by 13. So Dunkley socketed it off the ground, try to get it away, long, break on the stroke of halftime. What a performance this guy had last week. He's been on 3 AFL lists in his career. Essendon, Hawthorn, and then Collingwood gave him a lifeline. Has been in the sub vest so far a lot this year. Had a full game last week and was up in their best players. So Long comes in. Siren will sound. The straight approach, the straight kick, and Collingwood take a game-high 19-point lead into halftime. So at halftime, the Pies lead it by 19 points. 8-3-51 to Brisbane. 4-8-32. All right, guys, we're back in about 20 minutes or so with the second half. G'day guys, welcome back to a new episode of the Boundary Riders podcast, episode 109. Of course, we have a lot to talk about today. Gather Round has completed, so I want to cover a couple of things that happened over the weekend. We'll be talking about the Willie Rioli situation and my thoughts about it, the preview to round 6, AFL fantasy chat, and of course, much more. So let's not waste any more of your time. Let's roll the intro and get straight into it. Welcome to the Boundary Riders podcast, your one-stop shop for all your AFL content needs. He looks at his options. And Jack Ginnivan says, boys, you brought me to the club to do just this! But this guy has flog written all over him. From attack down, Reed sprints away from Petrarca, leaves him in his wake, takes a second bounce, takes a third. The sheer arrogance of Harley Reid. Finish the job, young man! So let's get into the footy news from the week that was. So guys, as you can probably tell, my brother is not here today. Was here the last couple of weeks, but unfortunately has had to go back to work after his couple of weeks off. So it's just me today, but you know, he was kind of losing us all anyway, so he needed a little bit of a break. But nonetheless, Gather Round, I wanted to talk about quickly. A really good weekend. Now, I know my Swans lost, but what a way to end it between Port Adelaide and Hawthorn. And overall, the weekend was really good. The weather was a little bit too hot, I will say, and I've got something to talk about that later in the episode regarding the flog of the week. But overall, I think it was a very good weekend. I think next year will be the last year South Australia has the contract for Gather Round, and I am quite biased on this, but I think Adelaide should keep on holding Gather Round. I think that it's the perfect place to have it. Places like Perth, it's too far away. I think that Tasmania is too small and don't have a big enough ground to accommodate for the big teams. When you think about it, Adelaide Oval holds 50,000, and the majority of the games were, all games at Adelaide were over 40,000. Like, it was Melbourne's biggest crowd they've had so far this year, and it was in a different state. And it wasn't even like against the Crows or whatever either. It was against Essendon. And Essendon obviously have a big fan base, but that is pretty embarrassing for the Demons to have their biggest crowd of the year against Essendon in Adelaide. So they don't get that crowd anywhere other than Victoria. And even then, I don't even think they would have got it at the MCG anyway. But looking at it, I think Queensland, I don't think they could have it, to be honest. Considering they've already got opening round as well, I just don't think it's really that feasible. And sort of the same with New South Wales. I don't think they could either. And people are saying Victoria should host it. You're a fucking moron. You get half a Gather Round every single week. So I think South Australia is the perfect spot to have it. But yeah, I think the South Australia just keep on growing it every single year. Like, I don't know if many people would have heard this, but last week, Peter Malinauskas, the Premier of South Australia, actually mentioned that I think it was a 30% increase of state travel to South Australia grew by 30%. So obviously a lot of people this year were coming from interstate to come and enjoy Gather Round. And I think I noticed quite a lot of people from other states coming to the game from, other states, Victoria, whatever it was, because the parking wasn't too bad, I don't think. I didn't go to the Barossa, unfortunately, because we didn't get tickets for those games. But at Norwood, we were pretty fine, me and my brother, and Adelaide Oval, we were pretty cruisy on parking as well. So I think a lot of people obviously were travelling from hotels and stuff. And when we were going through the city at one point between games on Saturday, went to the CBD, and a lot of people were going back to their hotels in Adelaide. So I think that's how it's going to go going forward. So if you are from South Australia, or anyone really, I think the tickets will come out probably in December this year. So if you do want to come in 2026, I would say get in quick, because last year when the tickets went on sale, they sold within the first day. So I think that if you want to go, especially to the games outside of Adelaide Oval, you'd want to get in pretty quick. But yeah, overall, it was a great experience. Sydney did lose, like I said, but I think every single game had its certain allure to it, I would say. I mean, even the Carlton West Coast game, I think that had some sort of allure to it. Now, granted, I think a lot of it was to do with Daniel Gorringe, but I think that did have a little bit of allure to it. And I mean, if I was AFL, to be honest, I mean, I think at this point, with West Coast being this poor, and they should be getting a seasonal bye every single time Gather Round comes around, because every single time they've come here for Gather Round, they have got smashed. Whatever team it is, at least for the love of God, put them in the Barossa. We don't need them at Adelaide Oval holding up a game. That Bulldogs Brisbane game should have been at Adelaide Oval one time or another. Now, to Alistair Clarkson, who was having a go about the weather and how the AFL scheduled it poorly or whatever, I don't know how he could have made that point, and I don't feel like it was an excuse for the game itself, but to make that sort of point after your team got beaten, to say, oh, the AFL should have done a lot better with its scheduling. It's like, bro, they do the scheduling in, November or something? Are you kidding? What are the AFL? I mean, I definitely don't like to protect the AFL for... I think if you guys watch this, you know that. But I mean, you can't make it their fault for everything. I mean, they could not have expected that the weather in South Australia over the weekend was going to be 32 degrees. And granted, it was fucking hot. But the AFL was not their fault. So I just think that was ridiculous. But overall, Gather Round continues to improve year on year. And if you want to go in 2026, as soon as you see information regarding ticket sales, you need to get in on that day, on the hour, I would say. Wait in line for Gather Round tickets, an hour in advance, because the tickets sold out really quick for this season's one. And yeah, I think it's just going to keep on getting bigger and bigger. And games like Norwood and the Barossa, they only hold 10,000 supporters, and they get sold out really quick. So just make sure to keep that in mind. But overall, if you haven't experienced Gather Round yet, it's so different to what any other round in the AFL would be. It's just such a experience. Everyone's got their different scarves on. Everyone's really enjoying it. Everyone's having fun. I don't think there's really that much bad stuff, really. I don't think there was anything bad to come out of the weekend in terms of supporter bases and stuff. So overall, I think it was great. And I think South Australia should continue to host it, because at the moment I think it's the perfect state to have it. It's a football state. They have a big enough ground. It's not too far away. No, it's not too far away to travel. And it's just, it's a real party atmosphere here, I guess, would probably be the way to put it. But let's move into a couple of topics over the weekend. So first of all, let's talk about some news regarding injuries and stuff. Unfortunately, Nick Bryan went out early against Melbourne on Saturday night. It's confirmed that he has done an ACL, so he'll be out for the rest of the year. So really unfortunate for him. Seemed to have maybe locked down that ruck spot for Essendon, especially with Draper playing up forward. So unfortunately going to miss the rest of probably the next 12 months or so. So that's really unfortunate. Nat Fyfe has suffered a moderate hamstring strain. Unknown of when he will return, but he will be assessed in the next couple of weeks. I don't really know where Nat Fyfe fits into Fremantle's lineup at the moment. He was playing in the Waffle over the weekend after injury over the preseason. He's been trying to work back through there, and I just don't see a way that Nat Fyfe returns to this Fremantle lineup. They're starting to get into their work. Now, granted, they haven't played too many hard teams, and he is a good depth player, but he's already, he can't even get on the field at the moment. He's not in their best 22, 23. He probably makes the emergency list, so maybe he can be a depth player, but I really see there's not many more games in Nat Fyfe's career, which is unfortunate because he's been a great player for so many years. But, I mean, at the end of the day, sometime it has to wind down, so maybe we'll see a few more games from Nat Fyfe. We'll have to wait and see. But right now, it's looking a little bit unlikely. On Melbourne, bad news keeps on getting worse. Kasai Pickett and Stephen May both in doubt for their game against Fremantle this weekend, both coming off some issues regarding the game in Gather Round against the Bombers. So, again, wait and see. I think Melbourne, I don't see them having much hope in that game either. But with those two out, I give them no hope. But we'll just have to wait and see on that front. Joel Amartey has been ruled out for at least 1 week for Sydney with his hamstring issue. So that does open the door for Logan McDonald, who's played one game in the VFL 2 weeks ago. Last week they had the bye due to Gather Round. So we'll have to wait and see. I think Sydney will probably go for it. There's talk. I don't want to see Tom McCartan up forward again. I don't want to see it. avid hater of that decision. I don't think that he's been it's not really been his fault, I will say, because the first 2 weeks when they tried it, they couldn't get it in there to him. And last week in the second half, Sydney weren't the greatest, but he doesn't look confident when he's up there. I think in the second half of the game against Collingwood, it proved to me that Tom McCartan can't go forward. He doesn't look confident. He dropped simple marks, and it just doesn't seem like the move to me. His best football has been in defence. He started his career as a forward. He didn't make it work, so they chucked him back. That's where he's been the best. So I think that Sydney should just keep on going with that. If you don't want to bring in Logan McDonald this week, I think you just persist with Peter Adams. And I know that's a amazing call from me. I don't think I would have been saying that 12 months ago. But if you don't feel comfortable with Logan McDonald at this stage to rush him back, I don't think they should, personally. If there is any sort of inkling of an injury or mistrust with Logan McDonald's body for this week, I would say leave him out. And just persist with Hayden McLean and and Peter Adams, and then bring in a small. That's what I would do if you're not 100%, 110% convinced that Logan McDonald can run out the game. But anyway, that's what my thoughts on Sydney. And some good news on the injury front. Western Bulldogs seem to be looking like that Marcus Bontempelli is on track to play on Easter Sunday against St Kilda, while James Harms has been cleared of a serious foot injury. Of course, he did miss, the 3 quarters against the Brisbane Lions over the weekend. So that's good news on the Doggies. If they can bring some players back after banking a couple of wins this season, maybe they can make a run. And Jordan De Goey seems to be set to return to Thursday night's game against the Brisbane Lions. He did miss the game against Sydney last week. However, at this stage, it does seem that Lockie Schultz will probably be out for another week or two. Now, on some tribunal suspension news at this stage, Patrick Voss is going to challenge his 3-game ban for his swinging arm in a tackle on Nick Vlaston on Sunday. Maybe he'll get a week off of his suspension, but I don't think he gets away with it. I don't think that's going to happen. James Peatling accepted his 1-match ban. I don't know if it was the fan who had to go. I'm sure it wasn't. And I'm telling you right now, if I made that if I did that and I got caught and a player turned around and gave me the finger, I would not be coming out and having a go. And I don't think that's what the supporter did. But the fact that the AFL gave Bailey Smith a call, asked for a please explain, and then gave him a fine for that is ridiculous. I hate people saying, they need to set an example. How about you set an example, and if you're going to fine a player, you would know where that person is sitting at the end of the day. There's enough technology now, people would know who that is, that they would be able to find out and find the person who was doing that. And I'm not saying they should. I don't think they should be fining spectators for doing that either. But if you're going to do something to a player, you should be doing it to someone else. And players, yes, they have the responsibility. Kids are watching and blah blah blah. But if you're a parent out there and you had a go at that, turn around to your kid and say, hey, don't do that. But also, don't yell at other people over the fucking fence. If you're a parent and you had an issue with Bailey Smith flipping the bird to someone. And also, know this, your kid's probably going to do it at one point. So get over it. Who cares? Bailey Smith had every right to do so. And he wasn't sorry about it. As he said in an interview with Channel 9, I think it was on the Friday morning, they asked him, some reporter was like, are you sorry for what you did? And he said no. As he fucking shouldn't. He shouldn't have to apologise for something that was the person at fault was the person screaming absurd language, from what I can tell, from what I know, and absurd words and whatever it was to Paddy Dangerfield. He has every right to tell the other guy to fuck off. So anyway, I think that's ridiculous that he got fined for that. But anyway, let's move into the Willie Rioli situation. So, of course, I'm sure everyone knows by now what happened in that game, Port Adelaide v Hawthorn. Port Adelaide blitzed them at the start. Hawthorn caught their way back, and Port Adelaide put them to bed in the end. And the one thing that sparked the huge melees at the end of the game, or towards the end of the game, was Willie Rioli was in the goal square, got a handball, and held the ball out to sell the candy to Jaff from Hawthorn. And Jaff didn't really appreciate that, pushed him over, and there was a big fight and whatever. Now, overall, I don't think that's a big deal. We'll talk about Hawthorn in a minute about them and how they're going. But on Port Adelaide, on Willie Rioli, he came out with an Instagram post after the game. I think it was on the night at some point. He said, in the post, play with fire, you're going to get burned. My hatred for this club, being Hawthorn, goes way past last year's antics. What they did to my dad and my brother is why I can't stand them, not the players. So that came out. that has to do with the issues regarding Cyril Rioli, I believe, as well, with obviously the racism scandal that was brought up. Now, I don't know a lot about that scandal, so I'm not going to sit here and act like I do, but it clearly does have an issue with Willie Rioli and the Hawthorn Football Club. That should be sorted behind closed doors. However, today, Willie Rioli has taken leave from Port Adelaide's, from the playing group from Port Adelaide in training at the moment, following a social media attack on his point of view from, I'm assuming, Hawthorn fans, but who knows these days. And Sam Mitchell has said that he wants to talk to Willie Rioli. Now, I don't think I have to say this because I think it's most people's thoughts, except for fuckwits online. But obviously, you don't go and abuse the player no matter what the fuck happened. Get over it. It's not... I don't get why anyone does that. Like, my brother and I joke every now and then when he loses a multi or whatever, and I say, oh, you're going to go message the player and tell him how much of a fuckwit he was for losing his bet. But people actually do that, and it's ridiculous. Like, so I don't think fucking Marcus Bontempelli gives a fuck that you missed out on your one multi because he only got 29 disposals and not 30. I'm sorry. I don't think that's a big deal. Complain about it with your mates. Don't message the footballer. Who gives a fuck? And it's your... I mean, if you're going to bet, like, that's on to you. Like, I don't have an issue with betting, but if you're fucking going to do it, you have to deal with the consequences when you get it wrong, okay? Just don't go and blame, some AFL footballer got subbed out 3/4 time when I wanted him for an extra 5 touches. I'm going to message you a death threat. You're a fucking moron. And the same goes to the people who abused Willie Rioli for this statement. Now, he shouldn't have really done it. Not to say that he should be kept silent, but to say he shouldn't have done it because it wasn't... I don't think it's the right way to go about it. It was a bit out of emotional. It was an emotional response after the game. I probably should have just kept it. Should have had a response a little bit better than that. Like on an Instagram post at night, probably not the greatest look, I would say. But he has some sort of issue. It needs to be sorted out one way or another. As a supporter of anyone, if you're going to go out there and say to a player when you have no idea what's going on and say, oh, you fucking idiot, and call him some sort of racial slur, you're a fucking moron and your brain needs to be checked, I feel like. And I know some people may say I'm a bit mean here, but I think you're a bit of a fuckwit if you're going to send a message to a player of any, really at all. I don't think you should be sending messages to these people anyway. I mean, unless a player wants to send me a message and wants to collab at one point, with my 190 subscribers, obviously not. But just leave them alone. They're players. They're people at the end of the day. And I don't think you wouldn't be messaging anyone else if they weren't an AFL footballer. So I would just say leave it be. And yeah, Willie Rioli, hopefully he returns soon. The racial slurs obviously are uncalled for. And even just sending him a message is really ridiculous. You shouldn't be sending it at all. Just let it be. Like, you sending a message to him is not going to fix the situation for your club or for your stance on racism or whatever the hell it is. I just think it's ridiculous all round. So I think it should just be sorted out behind closed doors at this point, and we'll just see what happens. But yeah, Willie Rioli at the moment has decided to step away from the Port Adelaide Footy Club for the time being. There's no return date at this stage, so we'll just have to wait and see.
But before we go any further, a message from me. If you guys enjoy the content and you want to see more, then make sure to become a member on the channel today. For just $4 a month, you can get early access to video essays, access to live recordings of the Boundary Riders podcast, along with exclusive stream perks and much more. And something that I'm super excited to introduce to channel membership this year is the members vote. Every week with the review, you can cast your vote to have your say on the Boundary Riders medal. So for all that and more, click the link down below, and for the added bonus of getting an extra inch onto your member, then do it now. But anyway, let's get back into the content.
But I want to talk about Hawthorn a little bit from that game. Are the Hollywood Hawks dead, essentially? Because they have been the fairy tale story for the last 18 months, or the last 12 months, I would say. From being 0-5 to running amok in the league, basically taking every single team to the sword, running their way into finals, winning a final and then losing the semi-final. There was a little bit of a crack that did emerge. The fact that this team could deal it out with their celebrations, but couldn't take it when Port Adelaide basically put them in their place. We saw how James Sicily reacted after that game when Ken Hinkley did the aeroplane sort of antics and all that sort of stuff and said a couple of things to Jack Ginnivan and all that sort of stuff that boiled over. I don't think Ken Hinkley really should have done it, but at the end of the day, they have been thrown through all kinds of loops, Port Adelaide, for a while now. Ken Hinkley has as well. And for Hawthorn to be dealing it out willy-nilly, you got to be able to take it as well. I think that's the general consensus that most people have. And that was really the first crack that emerged in Hawthorn's, sort of, I don't know, I don't want to say aura because that's kind of a Gen Z word, but the mystique of the club of the last 12 months. They're the young, exciting Hawks, the Hollywood Hawks, And we didn't really see it much at the start of the year. Like, they won their first 4 games. They won them pretty convincingly. And we were all like, yep, this team's going to be up there this year. But then they came up after the bye against Port Adelaide, and they were utterly shell-shocked. So players are starting to move back into the position for their second half. A little bit more push and shove. Looks like Jared Berry is going to be going to Daicos. Daicos can't get rid of it. Cameron wraps him up, slings him to the ground. Play on, says the umpire. This is Darcy Cameron. Works it up nicely to Hoskin Elliot. So Lipinski just works it short here. To Hoskin Elliot once again. Jared Berry not leaving a second without Nick Daicos being pushed around. The kick up the ground towards Lipinski. Couldn't get there. It runs out of bounds. So early stages, third term. Back in the ruck. McInerney with the tap down. Lipinski, great rove to Nick Daicos, who shakes and bakes. The kick inside, didn't go 15. And Harris Andrews takes the mark. Wasn't paid as it though. Had to be a ball in. Didn't look 15 to the naked eye. So throws it back into play. Opportunity here for Collingwood. Long, good tackle there. So Berry, definitely a lot of physical pressure on Nick Daicos. Jared Berry right into him. So a lot of stuff off the ball at the moment. And it's going to be a free kick to Collingwood here. Given away by Jared Berry. So Jordan De Goey gets the free kick. A chance here to make it 25 points. Game high lead. Brisbane just have to remember to keep their minds on the game here, or this will slowly creep out. To Goey misses a crucial opportunity. So Collingwood now trying to get it back inside their forward 50. Myercheck takes the mark just outside the 50. He goes to set it up top of the goal square. Mason Cox is there, had hands on it. Payne knocks it to ground. Wilmot just had to clear it in haste. Good mark from Charlie Cameron in front. He doesn't have a lot, so he's just going to send it high and long for Morris, but too much on it. Cut off by Moore. He plays on immediately. They want to quickly get it back inside their danger area here, Collingwood. The link-up play. Finding Crisp. He steps through one tackler, then turned it over to Archie. He went forward, realised there was no option, so worked it back to Zorko. The kick up the ground was nice. And he hits up Logan Morris on centre wing. So Morris just can't break a line here to Brisbane. Andrews further back to Payne. Trying to get a switch going here. A long kick from Leicester finds Dunkley. So Dunkley off to Ainsworth. Has a lead-up option. Decides to go further. Good-looking kick. Hits up McCluggage. They've worked this well here, Brisbane. It now goes towards the pocket. Needs more on it, it looks like. Spoiled away from Hipwood by Cameron. And a ball in inside the Brisbane Lions forward 50. So who's going to get on the flyer for Brisbane? Darcy Cameron won it down. Morris trying to spin out of the troubling tackle of Lipinski and a ball up. God, that's a weak free kick. It shouldn't have gone either way. Berry threw himself to the ground and Daicos fell on top of him. Fuck, that's weak. From both players, really. McInerney with the tap down. Lipinski just fed it out in the end to Daicos. Threaded through the handball to Long. They're working it nicely here, the Pies. Josh Daicos just holds up momentarily. High ball. Who's going to fly? Myercheck and Cox, neither could mark. Spoiled forward by Chris, but turned it over to Zorko, who goes a long kick backwards. Makes McCluggage get to the last line, but eventually recovers nicely. Short ball to Rayner. The kick through the middle of the Gabba. Straight to Will Ashcroft. Only 7 touches so far for Will. Hasn't really linked up with his mark and kick game so far. Just goes lateral to find Cameron. And he goes wide with the kick. Hits up Hipwood. Makes him run. Sends a low dart inside the forward 50. Darcy Moore reads that all day. Darcy Moore's been good tonight. As I say that, he almost turns it over. Ainsworth with the great pressure. Bailey handballed it back to Noah Ainsworth. Unlikely goal source. He kicks it across the body and across the face. Hits up Oscar McInerney. Great kick there from Noah Ainsworth. Didn't blaze away at goal. Look for an option. And Oscar McInerney looking like their best goal source at the moment. So McInerney's already got the one tonight. He is trying to run Cameron down the defensive end, trying to make him accountable. And McInerney, a chance here. He's kicked it very high. Has he got it in just in time? I think he has. Very interesting kick at goal. But all that matters is the result. First goal of the second half to Brisbane. Really good kick there from Noah Ainsworth. Probably isn't seen as a really important player from outside the four walls of Brisbane, but he's been in this side for a lot of last year. Played in the grand final, of course, premiership player, and has been really important in that defensive 50 for them. So back in the ruck, Daicos tried to get rid of it just in time. Neal wrapped up by Cameron. He's got it out. Ashcroft to McInerney. Sends it forward on the bounce. Did well their day, but turned it over. Quaynor, long handball to Moore. Better get shut down. Bailey put on the body pressure. Fletcher, handball forward there. Wasn't the greatest. I think it was Tunstall. In fact, it was Hipwood. Straight to Bailey. Did well to hold up. So arm across at stoppage for Nick Daicos. Has to work through that one. Neal sees Pendlebury and knocks him out. So it's interesting to see the matchup between Berry and Nick Daicos. Seems that every single time Daicos gets at stoppage and tries to make a burst away, Berry puts an arm across to make him just slows him down just momentarily, which stops that run forward. Tap down from McInerney. Neal tried to gather. Daicos did well. Pendlebury to Long. Spills out now to Perryman. Let go of the footy. Long just socketed it off the ground. A good 60-metre ball. Bounces and prods forward. Eventually gathered by the Brisbane defender, who goes long back where once it came. And a good mark from Lachie Neale. Good contested grab. Works the kick up forward. Did nicely to Morris. He's got Ashcroft over the top. He's going to go running forward now. High ball towards the pocket for Archie. Howe got a spoil onto it. But here's Charlie Cameron revving around the forward 50. Hooked it across the face and hit the point post. So Chris works it short to Howe. 14 points. Collingwood just a little bit shaky in the early proceedings of the third term. High ball towards a one-on-one. Looking for Elliot! In game 200, adds another highlight to his illustrious career. That was a brilliant mark. Going back with the flight. Jumped up, then jumped into the player in front of him. Leaned back, took a good grab. Zorko tried to duck under the tackle of Myercheck and seen him over the boundary line. And then another bit of push and shove as we've seen for the majority of this match. Bit of push and shove, a bit of argy-bargy. Nothing wrong with that. So it's abuse free kick against Dane Zorko going Collingwood's way. It's a descent free kick. I think it's the first one of the year. Daicos gives it to Pendlebury. In fact, it's Nick Daicos. High ball. Who's going to fly? McStay and Painter there. Got it away. Only as far as Fletcher. His kick was interrupted. Lester was wrapped up. Just got rid of it. Numbers with Collingwood, but Bobby Hill gives away the free. Lester gets away with it. Ryan Lester, such an important servant of that back line. Payne. Wide ball. Just inbounds there for Fletcher. Up the ground he goes. Hits up the lead of Day. Zorgo and Myercheck still having a bit of a chuckle behind the play. So Sam Day has it. Has no options to go to, so he just has to go with a little dab kick over the top. It's a dangerous kick. Good mark from Levi Ashcroft. Strong hands from the kid. Now they're going to go with the switch play. Answorth. Long ball. Finds Zorko and off he goes. He takes a bounce. He'll take a couple on this outer wing. He's got Bobby Hill tracking him. Did well with the pressure, Hill. And now Collingwood can go on the counter. Myercheck with the pickup. Swings around. Long ball numbers with Brisbane. Payne dropped the sitter. Elliot waiting to make his pay. McStay off to Nick Daicos. He'll make you pay full price. Jack Payne will just want that moment back. He just couldn't take that mark in the end. It spilled through his fingers. And Collingwood, ever dangerous finish there from Nick Daicos. He's kicked his first of the night. So Chris Fagan and Zorko talking on the bench. Definitely interesting conversation. Love to be a fly on the wall of that one. Cox with the tap down. Steele side bottom. Try to soccer it forward. Free kick's been ripped out here. It's going to go back to the Pies. It will go to side bottom against Will Ashcroft. Couple of important players on the bench at the moment. Nick Daicos still having a big influence on this game despite the heavy attention from Jared Berry. Low ball inside the forward 50 to Cox. Good mark. And Collingwood just threatening a little here. Brisbane still in this game, but the Pies just starting to flex their muscles a little. Couldn't do much there, Sam Day. The kick was just too perfect. So Mason Cox. He comes in straight in front, 25 metres out. He's missed. Well, not a very good kick. Once upon a time, he was one of the Australia's kicks in the comp, and he's missed a couple tonight. So numbers here with the Pies. They're going to drive it back inside 50. Short little ball. Hits up Oscar Elliot. He wants to play on. Sees an option inside the forward 50 towards McQuarrie and Myercheck. And I think Ainsworth's won himself a free kick. He did really well there, Noah Ainsworth. 2-on-1, did brilliantly. He's done a good couple of things in this second half so far. Saved a certain goal. So now Ainsworth. Wide ball to Leicester. Short ball to Tunstall. Been a bit quieter in the last quarter and a bit. James Tunstall had a brilliant start to the game. High up and under ball. Brisbane have numbers here. Maynard threw himself at it, but numbers are out the back in Brisbane colours. Morris, kick inside 50 was brilliant. On the bounce, gives it off to Zach Bailey. Usually a lethal finisher, just missed. I think he went for goal. It may have been a kick to Kalachi, but just went across the face, skids out of bounds. Cox tried to socket it out of the ruck contest. Ashcroft tracks it down with it. Cox running behind him. Berry back to Levi Ashcroft. Working it further back to his brother. Haven't done much of that tonight. Wilmot inside the forward 50. It goes wide. Too wide. Out of bounds. So Crisp gives it off to McQuarrie, sends it up the wing. One-on-one is Hill and Ainsworth. Ainsworth did it well again. He's been good tonight, Noah Ainsworth. Deserves his kudos. How are you tonight? Yeah, I'm doing not too bad there, George. How about you? What are you doing tonight? So Barry just keeping that close attention to Daicos. Dunkley tried to take it out of there, turned it over. Pendlebury wrapped up. Now Daicos just jumping through the traffic. He jumps one way, then another. Back to his brother, Perryman, looking for the handball. Did it really well. Real composure. Then just thumps it inside the forward 50. Andrews brings it to the ground. Jamie Elliott, he's had a few chances tonight, but now he misses again. Yeah, I picked Collingwood by 10 tonight. So now Fletcher, last line of defence, goes with a ball to half-back, finds Tunstall. Sends the ball long up the wing. Archie and Quaynor 1-2. Slapped it away from his own teammate, Perryman. But they got numbers here. They just have to work it out. Lipinski off to Quaynor. He charges away from his opponents. Sends it inside 50 to Jamie Elliott again. Well, he's kicked 3 behinds tonight, Jamie Elliott. He would love to get one here. Give his team a 28-point advantage. So Jamie Elliott, 3 shots on goal, all misses so far. This one, straight through in game 200, and everyone will get around him. A much-loved figure at the Collingwood Football Club, and they all get around him. He knew it as soon as it came off the boot. It's about time he kicked it. He's missed 3. So that was a good finish. So back in the middle, 28 points. Brisbane aren't out of it just yet, but they're getting closer and closer to an unbeatable margin. Daicos off of the back of the square, sockers it out towards the wing. Side bottom gathers. The kick across his body was brilliant on the opposite foot. Hits up Oscar Elliot. Seven minutes still to go on this third term. Collingwood have left a couple of goals out there, but they still lead by nearly 5 goals. Myercheck takes the mark just outside the forward 50. So Brody Myercheck has kicked 1 goal tonight. It's going to be a tough kick. It's a long way out. Comes in with a calm approach. Sends it long. It won't make the distance. It'll be in the goal square. Hands on it was Darcy Cameron. Couldn't mark. Neil Dunkley looking for the 1-2 as Lockie Neal. Short little ball. Hits up McCluggage. He'll get a 1-2-3, you'd think. Here he goes. The dual Brownlow medalist. The kick up the ground was nice. Cameron took it well down low. This is an opportunity here for Brisbane. They have to take it. The kick today had too much on it. Quaynor holds it in momentarily. Kept it in. Did well. Back to Pendlebury at halfback. He wants to go with the switch. Decides to come back on this shorter side. Hits up his mate and side bottom. So Brisbane just need to find a goal here. They've been able to find a goal, the first goal of the second term and the third term, but haven't done much to go about it. So now Pendlebury. Up the wing he goes. Who's going to be the flyer? Down low. Just took an easy chest mark in the end. Myercheck. He's got a number out the back. I think it's Ned Long. He runs inside. In fact, it's Hoskin Elliot. He's been good in the last 20 or so minutes, Will Hoskin Elliot. Opportunity here as we tick into red time to send it over 5 goals. Hoskin Elliot. He runs a bit of an arc. He'll kick from just inside the forward 50. Oh, he's absolutely flushed it, but he's bended back late. Through for a hit the post. Collingwood fan, I think just keeping his mate a little bit quiet. I think he's a little bit drunk. So Fletcher sends it up the wing looking for Day. Got hands onto it. Good pressure from Collingwood. Quaynor steps out of bounds. But a free kick's going to be going Sam Day's way. He's had a good game tonight. Probably his best in Brisbane colours. Back to Wilmot. Just been stuck in this kicking game, Brisbane. Just going across, up and back, across the ground. But just haven't been able to penetrate forward much. So Wilmot, almost forced to do so. Just works it short today. Go back to Ashcroft, but he got it cut off. Great pressure from Collingwood. Handball underground from Hoskin Elliott to DeGoey. Couldn't take it. Long. Back to Nick Daicos. He's got an option inside. It's Mason Cox. Wants to give off the handball. Cross to Long again. He's going to send it inside the forward 50. 1-on-1. Tunstall did well. Numbers with Collingwood. Hill did it to himself. Did it nicely. Over the top. Fletcher. Okay, times here with Zorko. And now Levi Ashcroft wants to sprint away. Arch the back momentarily. Gets his composure. And sends a high ball up the wing. Cameron couldn't mark. This is Collingwood's Cameron. He tracks it down. Further back to Howe, but it trickles out of bounds. So 3.5 minutes still left in this third term. Brisbane feels like they need a goal. Cameron took it out of the right, got it smothered away. Long, great little turn. Off to the Darcy Cameron who kept on going. Tumble punt forward, hits Myercheck. 29 points right now. If he kicks this goal, it's going to be tough to see Brisbane fighting back. So Brody Myercheck He creeps on in. High ball towards goal. Has he got the distance? Oh, you bet he does. 5 of the last 6 goals for Collingwood. And Brisbane are fighting hard now to keep their halftime record intact. The last 8 games, the Brisbane have found themselves behind at halftime. They've been able to fight back and win. This one's going to have to be an almighty comeback. From a tap down, McCluggage tracks it with Bailey. So is the goalie. Bailey tried to tap it to his own advantage. Dunkley off the ground, just getting some territory. It'll bounce, it'll trickle, roll towards the boundary line. Quaynor gets there first. Handball towards the turf. Good pressure here from Brisbane. Cameron up towards Archie, and now they send it forward. Up and under ball. McInerney was there, couldn't mark. Maynard happy to see it out of bounds. So Daicos just looking like he's getting his groin checked on at the moment. Hopefully there's nothing too concerning there for Collingwood fans. Locked inside the Brisbane forward 50. They need a goal here. Day on the up here to Will Ashcroft. He's trying to get rid of it. Did well. Charlie Cameron trying to back out of the traffic. Side bottom. Clean pick up to Josh Daicos. Myercheck tried to duck under the tackle. Did well there, Fletcher. So back in the ruck we go. Trying to get it out of there is Berry. Ball up. So Myercheck just got a little bit of a limp up at the moment. Seemed to have twisted a little bit in the tackling motion a moment ago. Hopefully he's all good as well. Grab the jumper there of Oscar McInerney. He'll get the free kick. Well, he's been their major goal source tonight. He's kicked 2. He's a long way out, but I don't think that will worry him. He's a pretty long kick. So Oscar McInerney. He's a long way out. He'll kick from almost the point of the centre square. So he'll wind up the big guy. He's got a long way. He's got nearly the distance. Darcy Cameron couldn't mark it. And now Crisp runs away. Breaks past the tackler and takes a bounce. Doesn't have a lot of options. Eventually finds Long. And away go Collingwood. They're looking to kill the game now. DeGoey. Wide handball to McQuarrie. The speedster takes a bounce. Takes a second. Breaks 50 metres. Kicks it low. Finds McStay. Well, this would have to be one almighty comeback from Brisbane because Collingwood threatening to take the game away now. With a minute left in the third term, McStay in the pocket to put it over 40 points. McStay snaps around the body. Oh, he's hooked it too much. They've left a couple out there tonight, Collingwood. They haven't 100% put Brisbane away. So Jasper Fletcher will take the kick. He runs his full measure. Sends it towards the commentary side. Frampton did well. Brought it to ground. Side bottom. Usually a good kick inside the forward 50. This one wasn't the greatest. Myercheck kept it in bounds, but only for a moment. 27 seconds left. Collingwood inside their forward 50. Brisbane just have to hold on here. Tap down from McInerney. Bailey tried to clear it in a dangerous position though. McQuarrie step past one. Jamie Elliot, a chance for his second. He's so deadly around the goal face. And they'll get around him once again. A lot of missed opportunities for Collingwood tonight, but they've just been too good. So back in the middle, 10 seconds left. Brisbane are going to have to make an almighty comeback here. Neil off to Dunkley, turned it over to Cameron. 5 seconds left. Can we take a mark here, Collingwood? No, Archie takes it. And at 3/4 time, the Lions down the barrel of a 42-point deficit. At 3/4 time, Collingwood lead it 12-8-80 to Brisbane, 5-8-38. Oh, my fucking hand. $77 meters. Has anyone... That is ridiculous. Hang on a minute. I have to show you guys this. This is ridiculous. I didn't even notice this. I thought the 50 was a bit long, but I didn't know it was 77 meters. Look at this. So someone took a record... This is on Fox Footy in the quarter. Look at this. So this is the 50-meter penalty fade in the... I think it was the second quarter. So the umpire pays it here. Look at this. So he's given this at the back of the goals of the... It should be finishing here. This is where it should be finishing here. He has gone all the way to here. That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Fuck me. I can't believe that. That is fucking shit from the umpires. They've been pretty crap tonight. I will give them that too. They've been fucking shit. Sorry, there's a fly on my screen. That was ridiculous. Fuck, mate. That is a fucking 80-meter penalty. So players started moving back into their positions. Brisbane have been able to fight back from halftime deficits for the last 8 attempts. It's going to have to be an almighty comeback to bring this one back. Here we go. Last quarter is underway. So Cameron brought it down. McInerney trying to spill it forward. Eventually found it to Neil. Handballed it straight to Josh Daicos, but he spills out now to Berry. Feigns the give. Gives it off eventually to Archie. They're working it well here, Brisbane. Hipwood sends it to the top of the goal square. Rayner flies, couldn't mark. Free kick's been ripped out. It's going to be going Brisbane's way. Well, this for the perfect start. Logan Morris shouldn't have too many issues from here. So Logan Morris comes in. Not much angle, not much distance. Came off the side of the boot. I don't think he's kicked this. Logan Morris didn't celebrate. It went very wide, very quickly. Not a good kick there from Logan Morris. That would have given them the perfect start to the last quarter, but he's 10 metres out. Not much angle. Should have kicked it. Huge opportunity goes begging there for Brisbane. So Howe works the kick here to half back to Josh Daicos. Runs his full measure. Sends a high ball. Brisbane have the numbers here. Andrew's got a fist onto it. Side bottom. Stepping through the traffic. Did it well. To Nick Daicos. Just racking them up at will. The kick inside to Mason Cox. Couldn't grab it on the bounce. McStay overran it. McCluggage didn't have the footy. Eventually picked it up in the end. Neil. Further back here to Andrews. Wrapped up. Good tackle from McQuarrie. Locked an arm. Locked him down. 41 points. Cameron with a tap. Neil back to Fletcher. Jams it on the boot. Up and under. Going back with the flight. Dangerous is Darcy Moore. Hard hit. Marshall looks like he's warming up on the bench here as Darcy Moore makes his way off the ground. Got a knee to the head there from Jeremy Howe. Just unfortunate friendly fire. Darcy Moore going down to the ground. It's just unfortunate there. Hopefully he's okay. May have to be ruled out with concussion. He'll definitely have to take a concussion test, I'd imagine. As Collingwood break away, McQuarrie had a handball option on the outside. Decides to work it inboard. The goalie couldn't mark, but he's going to get the free kick. This to all but seal it. So he's got blood coming out behind his ear, Darcy Moore. Hopefully he's okay. But now Jordan DeGoey. This would shut the gate. He comes in. Dead straight kick. And Collingwood looking for the win here. And giving Brisbane their first of the 2025 season. Oh, Logan Morris is going to get weeks. He pushed Darcy Moore into that. Unfortunately, he's going to get weeks. We saw the precedent with Richmond a couple of weeks ago. So, unfortunately, Logan Morris is going to get weeks for that. But Sam Marshall onto the ground for the first time. Another father-son draftee. Probably not the talked about much, as Levi was drafted earlier than him, but was a first-round draftee for Brisbane this year. So, Jack Crisp has the footy on the outer wing. So Kalachi, just a little bit of an issue with the right knee, so he has been subbed out of the game. Long kick inside the forward 50. Darcy Cameron couldn't mark. Cox fumbled it onto his toes and on the ground. Ed Allen just starting to make his couple of run-throughs at the moment. I wouldn't be too surprised at the moment with the game most likely done with Ed Allen making his way onto the ground for Darcy Moore. Tap down from Cameron. Leicester tracking it along with Will Ashcroft. Daicos dragged it underneath him. He's going to be in trouble here. Umpire says no. Trying to get the ball out here. Collingwood side bottom tracks it, but Leicester clears it for the Lions. Going back with the flight. Morris couldn't mark. Elliot couldn't get it out of there. McCluggage. They can work it through hands here, Brisbane. Morris, long handball. Rayner tapped it to the advantage of Berry. Gathered it well. Handball back to Rayner. Couldn't turn attacking side, so we have to go back to Berry. Great little dance step around Maynard. Inside kick had too much on it. Frampton reads it well. Frustrating night for Brisbane. Collingwood have strangled them, it felt like, all night. Quaynor has it short. So Quaynor sends it long up the wing. Darcy Cameron couldn't mark. McInerney did well. Maynard jumped on top of it. Taps it out to the advantage of Pendlebury. Socketed it towards Myercheck. Now Pendlebury's in trouble here. Myercheck did well. I think Archie's okay. There's no ice or anything on his knee at the moment. May just be a little bit of precautionary, seeing the game's most likely out of their reach. Free kick to Darcy Cameron. So Cameron sends it high, looking for a flyer. One of them's crisp, brings it down to the ground and out of bounds. So I tipped Collingwood. I'm pretty happy with that. It's 26 votes tonight on the you guys saying who's going to win. Brisbane lead it, but that was probably done a lot throughout the night. Or earlier in the night, I would say. Tap down from McInerney. Ashcroft. Quick boots the ball, up and under. Going back with the flight. Good mark from Howe. Kicks it across to Lipinski. He's got an option in ball. He decides to go forward with the kick. Good play, Elliot. Just too far out to score, you'd say, Jamie Elliott. So it just goes back to Quaynor. Outside the forward 50. Back to Nick Daicos. Elliot works his way just inside the forward 50. And says to the umpire, I'm going to go for it. Kicked 2 goals in that third term. Jamie Elliott, opportunity here for his third. I'd say he's too far out, but, I mean, who knows? Maybe with a bit of adrenaline pumping through his veins, he can maybe send this one home. He's going to set it up into the pocket. Opportunity here, going up nicely. There was Berry. Got a touch onto it as it hits the point post. Throws it back into play. Cameron takes it out of the ruck. Has a lot of time. Ashcroft did well. Got a high one from Long. So Will Ashcroft will get the free kick. He's had a tough night, Will. So Payne to Andrews. Works it up to Morris. So Fletcher, in fact, goes with a long kick. Numbers here with Brisbane. Morris went up early. Day takes the grab. Gives off the handball, and off they go here, Brisbane. Bailey goes towards the pocket. Just had too much. No, good mark from Hipwood. So a good mark there from Eric Hipwood. Hasn't had as big a night as he did last week. but he's had a few opportunities. He's kicked 1 goal too. That was in the opening half. Hasn't done much in this second half. Eric Hipwood, a chance here to get Brisbane's 6th goal of the night. It's been a real dry spell for them up forward. So Hipwood runs around the body, hooks it towards goal, holds the line. Good finish. That's their first goal since early in the third term for Brisbane. Back to 41 points. So McInerney tried to take it out of the ruck. Cox puts on the pressure. Dunkley tried to get the kick away to go. A good smother. Tried to fist it forward. Missed the ball completely. Now Crisp going back in towards the traffic. Turned it over. Free kick's been ripped out here. It's going to go Jack Crisp away for a high. So Darcy Moore seems to have been subbed out here. Ed Allen will make his way onto the ground. Not unfortunate there for the captain of Collingwood. So throws it back into play. Tap down from Cameron. Marshall, first touch for him. Up and under ball. Cox is there. Hipwood brought it to ground. Crisp. Long handball forward. Just missed Pendlebury. Good pressure there from Brisbane. Marshall about to get his second touch. Works the kick out wide on the bounce. Tunstall gathered it well to Hipwood on the right boot. Just spirals one forward. Morris there with Maynard. Trickles out of bounds. Oh, fuck, man. Like that's deliberate. Or, sorry, insufficient intent. Fuck off. That's fucking ridiculous. Fuck, man. So Maynard up the wing with the kick. Fist to it. Brisbane free kick going to go Harris Andrews' way, I believe. Or is it Oscar McInerney? It is McInerney. He's had a pretty good night, Oscar McInerney. Probably been one of their best. Sigma Chad. I'm sorry, man. I think Brisbane are gone. Ashcroft got rid of the handball only as far as Crisp. Up and down kick was nice to McQuarrie. Centre wing. Got the numbers running behind him. Gives it off to Daicos. Inside kick to Elliot. Gives it off to Goey. Opportunity here for Collingwood. Long ball towards the 2-on-1. McStay couldn't mark. Bobby Hill been quiet all night. Snaps it towards goal. Oh, he's brilliant. Hardly seen it all night, Bobby Hill, but takes his moment. And Collingwood are running away with it now. So back in the middle we go. 47 points the margin. Cox with the tap. Neil wrapped up. 11 minutes still left to go in this one. Brisbane going to get their first defeat of the year. Free kick going to Collingwood. They take the advantage through Long. High ball inside the forward 50. Didn't really look when he kicked it. Went to ground there. Payne. McStay kept his feet in the pocket. Sees an option to the top of the goal square. Cameron couldn't mark Fletcher. Got rid of the handball. Wilmot. Great scrambling defence there from Brisbane. Up and down kick towards Ashcroft, but crisp in front. Brisbane just haven't been able to take any territory tonight. Collingwood have dominated. Crisp sends it long. It's going to go across the face. Harris Andrews, last line, fists it through for a behind. So Hipwood gets the free kick. He's in the middle of the ground. Wants to wheel and go. Sends it inside the forward 50. Numbers out the back. Rayner, good mark. Perryman put on all sorts of pressure, but Cam Rayner is just too good. I have to go to the bathroom after this kick. I hope he kicks it just so I can have a few seconds to take a piss. Come on, Rayner. Kick the goal. I need to take a wee. Hurry the fuck up. Hurry up! Umpire, tell him to play on, please. I need to go. Quickly. Fucking hell. Kick the ball, Rayner. Come back. Thank God I need to take a piss. Oh, you fucking dog. It didn't even make the distance. Oh. Alright, I'm changing the scoreboard and then I'll go to the toilet. Yeah, alright, toilet I go. Deal with it. Ugh. Don't worry, guys. I took a piss on the seat to mark my territory. Daicos just taking the mark inside 50. So Jordan Daicos from just outside the forward 50 drives it long, and he's got it there. Good finish. Collingwood, it's just party time up in Brisbane for the Collingwood Footy Club. So tack down from Cox towards the goalie. McCluggage couldn't gather it. Allen just fumbled. Got back onto it though, did well. Side bottom, long handball. Hits up McQuarrie. Again, they find a goalie and acres of space. He hooks it across his body. Kick couldn't be marked by Leicester. Pressure here with the Pies. And ball up again. So 7 minutes still to play in this game. Collingwood have been the better team basically since the latter parts of the second term. McInerney took it out of the ruck. Up and under kick. It's going to be paid to 15. It will be. Rayner spoiled it away from his opponent. Fisted forward by Wilmot. They link up nicely. Berry up with a nice looking kick. Hipwood couldn't mark. He stepped past one. Looking for the inboard kick. Good option. And Marshall takes the mark. Plays on. Quick little give. Finds Zorko. He wants to play on. Drives it inside the forward 50 towards the one-on-one. Good mark. Towards Day. Wasn't paid. Rayner got a high one though. I think that's a mark, but anyway. So Cam Rayner about 25 metres out. Not much angle to speak of. Had an opportunity a few moments ago. Just didn't make the distance. Won't have an issue about that with this kick. And it's a nice straight ball. Brisbane get their 7th goal. So McInerney tried to take it out of the ruck. Allen socketed it out of midair. Bounces forward. McQuarrie, good pick up. Back to side bottom. They've just been too good tonight, Collingwood. DeGoey. Wide kick to Myercheck. Sends it inside the forward 50. Good mark there from Payne. Switch kick. Leicester. Short. Finds Marshall. Racking up a few touches, the young kid. Goes up with the kick. Turn over to Frampton. So just about to tick into red time in this final term. Frampton goes long. Couldn't mark. There was Leicester. Payne. Back to Wilmot. And off he goes. Takes a bounce. Hoskin Elliot tracks him. He's run a long way there, Wilmot. Just got rid of it in time. Andrews. Up the wing. Did well. Hits up Dunkley. He's got Marshall in the middle of the ground. He's also got Zorko. Goes in between them. Hits up McInerney. Short kick from Berry. Marshall. Further back here to Ainsworth. They can work it up here, Brisbane. Commentary side, Leicester. Back to Marshall. Racking him up in the last turn, the young kid. Sends it towards the one-on-one. Cameron went up early. Couldn't mark. Maynard up against him. Did it well. Daicos. Handball over the top. Frampton. Back to Nick Daicos. He just runs all day. Further back, Lipinski. Allen. Lipinski. Don't have a lot of options here, so they can just run this one up here, Collingwood. Everyone's pretty tired. I think both teams were pretty happy with the siren went now. Allen sends it long and out of bounds on the full. Well, I don't really give much of an excuse to Ed Allen. He should be the least tired of them all. So Wilmot just works the kick back inside to Zorko. he goes into the centre square. It's a nice looking kick. Ainsworth couldn't get his hands to it. Good tackle on Crisp, then let it go. Daicos, Cox, back to Daicos. This is Josh. Handball out wide. Allen tracks it down well. Kick forward was nice. Hits up Lipinski. Collingwood just racking up disposals in these final few minutes, trying to pad the stats a little. He'll go back to Nick Daicos. How many's he got now? 37 at the moment. Josh Daicos is second with the 27. Side bottom now, has it on the outer side. So now side bottom once again. They've worked it back a good 50, 60 metres, but they're just going to keep on racking it up. Brisbane aren't willing to man up, so why not continue to just kick short, safe kicks? So Jeremy Howe went long, just got to McInerney, and they can break away now. Send a hammer blow through Brisbane. McInerney sends a long ball. Up went McStay, couldn't mark. Free kick, called the play on, and Bobby Hill will run to the goal line and smash it home. They're sending a message to the AFL at the moment, the competition, Collingwood, saying they're the ones to beat. So McInerney sends it forward with 2 minutes to play. Ashcroft quickly jammed it on the boot, but Quaynor reads it well. Just been a tough night all around for Brisbane. Can't go the whole year without losing a game, I can't really imagine. Not really too many concerns if I'm Brisbane, but it's been a good night all around from Collingwood. It's been one of their great performances of the year so far. Daicos, high ball, good mark from Day. Goes with the inside kick. Nice looking ball. Hits up Berry. Nice switch kick to Cameron. Charlie Cameron really hasn't got into this season so far. Sends the ball inside the forward 50. Went up Morris. Couldn't take it. Howe sees it out of bounds. Tap down from Cox. Allen couldn't get it away. Now long spin of 360. Handballed out to Allen. Now Daicos sends the ball high towards the forward 50. Good mark from Andrews. So we just ticked under a minute to go. Dunkley. On the bounce there to McInerney. Gives the handball back to Neal. Maybe a late chance here, a consolation prize here for Brisbane. High ball inside the forward 50. Good mark from Berry. So Jared Berry spent a lot of the third quarter on Nick Daicos, still couldn't quell his influence. Taken off him and a chance here to kick his first goal of the evening. He comes in, leaves it out to the right, and it's a behind. As Maynard kicks it inboard, the siren sounds around the Gabba, and Collingwood send a message around the league. They're going to be a hard team to beat in 2025. A great performance from the Pies tonight. They draw Brisbane's first loss of the year, and Collingwood now fighting for a top spot. The final scoreline, 7-11, 53 to Brisbane, losing by 52 points over Collingwood, 16-9, 105. All right, guys, thanks for joining the stream. Hope you did enjoy it. The review will be out